Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I wanted to record it just for the YouTube / Toy Joe Collecting Universe. I'm repairing my Drome. I have it 100% complete. I just recently got in a missile and an AVAC to complete this. And I bought it with the intention of completing it and then selling it. I've had it for about a year. I got this at a random yard sale in Edgewood, Kentucky. I almost didn't go. They do a community yard sale. They have a map of different houses. And, I hit up a few, not really finding anything. I went to one last random house. It was very much toward the end. They very well could have been closed. Pulled up. Guy had a big cardboard box that said G.I. Joe, and I knew I hit the right spot. Didn't have any figures, but a pretty decent shell of a Drome. Incomplete for sure, but had a decent amount of pieces. What else was in there? A Mobat, a Wolverine. I don't know, not a Wolverine. A Toss and Cross, Sky Striker. Just a lot of incomplete vehicles and things like that. So super stoked. So I always say, never pass any yard sale. Never think any yard sales or flea market or thrift store or whatever is like lame or whatever. I've been in tons of lame ones, wasted time, but I've also come across some really great stuff. So anyway, one thing that was actually a pretty big issue with this is the sort of silos that lift up and where the fire back comes out of. This is broken on it, so you see it should protrude from right there, and mine can't because that tab is broken. So so I was able to actually get this from my friend / some employer, Yojo Outlet, because we had a damaged Drome, which actually was a travesty. I was trying to say tragic and travesty. A travesty, and it was also very tragic. A guy had shipped a Drome in a box with like wooden posts to support it, and it was just totally messed up. It was really, really awful situation, and long story. But anyway, we were able to salvage some parts, and I needed this, which you can't just buy this. People might sell the silo and some of these things together, but to just find this is just not something that people sell because you have to take it apart. But that's what I'm going to do today. So I have the top off. I took off some of the swinging doors, which break all the time, and I've removed all the interior, well, I guess you call them the support walls, interior walls, I don't know. All of those come out. So this guy here is being held on by, there's some tabs in here. And what was interesting, so the big concern is that you're going to break it, which you might break it. The one that we had at Yojo Outlet in the shop, this was broken, the top was broken, so I was able to manhandle it a little bit. Actually, not a little bit, a lot, because this was broken. I mean, just there were like literally holes in it. So it actually was kind of nice because I was able to manhandle it and see like how much pressure I could put on some of these tabs and different things. And because you're always, there's some things that if you look at them, they just break. And then other things are surprisingly strong. So these tabs actually aren't too bad. But the problem is there are, I guess, 4. And they sort of pop back in as soon as you release them. So what I had to do, it's obviously easier if you have somebody to help you, or if you can kind of stick something in there to prevent them from popping back out. Yeah, I'm trying to, very hard not to apply too much pressure because I don't want to break these. And see, some of the tabs sort of pop back into place. Now, in terms of the function of the Drome, if those tabs break, it's not really going to do a whole heck of a lot of damage because um, the silo is really kind of held down by gravity, so it's not really going to mess with the function. But the problem is these tabs are actually on the base, and if you break them, again, your base is it's broken, and that's not something you generally want. So, okay, we got those 4 tabs. I probably should have taken everything off, but I'm lazy. I don't think I broke anything. I thankfully have some extra parts available to me, because one thing that I had to do was buy parts lots, because just to buy one little individual of everything is a lot. But if you buy parts lots and then kind of sell the extras, even broken, I mean, I just sold some broken like one of these turrets. I don't know where I put it. Oh well, it's up top. One of the gun turrets. I had a broken one of those. I sold it because people buy them as a placeholder. I definitely bought some broken things as a placeholder, because I'd rather have a broken one than not one. Just anything for display purposes. All right, so this thing, this can be a little tricky because there's this chain you got to take off, and you actually have to take the silo apart as well in order to get all this stuff off. So, because it's just that's just how it works. So, actually, let's see. I might not have to take the silo apart. I could be wrong on that. You do have to remove the chain. I'll show this to you in a second here. This chain is so tight, it doesn't have a lot of slack. So that's kind of what this chain pulls that up and down. People sell this chain for like $12, $15. I mean, it's just a, I go to the hardware store and buy those for my ceiling fans. Anyhow, let's set that aside. So you can see this is the whole point of this whole deal. That broke off. I don't know. I guess some kid, actually not the kid, the guy I bought this off of. It was his. This was like his childhood stuff. So the guy I bought this off of must have, as a kid or a friend, just like really kind of whammed that up. I've never seen one of those broken before. Not that I've seen a lot of Terror Dromes, but in the 10 or so I've seen in my life, I've never seen that broken. But yeah, somebody must just really bent it or something. So we're going to take all of these off. These kind of silo doors. It's not really a door. It's almost like a canopy, I guess. I don't know what the official name is. So I want to make sure they're all lined up properly. And again, this is kind of where it gets scary, because I really don't want to break these, because I've been spending almost a year completing this, and I want to sell it to a good home. I like it. I never had one as a child. I was 2 when it came out, so not really something that I would have received as a present. I did, when I was in, I think, college, buy a shell of one that was very incomplete, and had it to do as a project. Never got around to it. Sold to some guy. I don't think I ever bought a single part for it. It had like nothing. But it was really, the one thing about this is it holds a lot of people, and there is no Cobra headquarters except for this. So G.I. Joe obviously had the headquarters in '83. You had the mobile command center. Even if you want to think about things like the Defiant or USS Flag as like headquarters, things that held a lot of figures. Cobra didn't have that. There wasn't anything near the scale to hold more than a few figures on some sort of vehicle. So in terms of Cobra headquarters, this is it. And super cool. I'm not like knocking it. It's just like, I think it would have been kind of cool if it made like a Snake Mountain, or just not a Snake Mountain, but you know what I mean, a Cobra Island or something like that. But anyway, again, you can hold, dozens of figures in here, so it's really cool. You can pull it in your ATVs and all kinds of stuff as well. So so a really cool piece to have. This is, I would say this is definitely the flag is like kind of the centerpiece sort of Joe vehicle from the whole line. I would say the Defiant would be number 2. But in terms of Cobra, like Cobra branded, like this is it. This is like the top Cobra thing in the G.I. Joe line. I'm going to stop this video here. I just kind of wanted to show an exploded view of some of this kind of stuff. If you have to replace anything like that, in order to get the top off, you do have to take these support walls out. I recommend taking these doors out because those break. That was another piece I needed because if those break, they kind of fall out. So be very, very careful with those. But you know, if you do have to replace any of that kind of stuff, you do have to take this chain off. You do have to unscrew this, which isn't a huge deal. It's not like super difficult or anything, but you know, those little tabs that hold the fire bat wings in might break. So but yeah, I'm gonna stop this here because I need to find something. I might have to get like just something to kind of lube these up a little bit to get those to come out, because there's not a lot of give and I really don't want to break them. I want to, you know, make sure this is nice shape, because the whole point of me doing this is to ensure, you know, fix this thing that is broken. And then once I do that, I'll have a complete Drome, a few little broken tabs here and there. I can think of like 2, maybe 3 little tiny broken things, but other than that, complete. I've got AVAC with his backpack. I've got a Creo AVAC. I have this file card. I have the blueprints to the fire bat. I don't have any of the blueprints or the sticker sheet for the Drome itself. Thinking about getting those just because I want to sell it all together, but you know, I don't know. So anyway, thanks for watching. Play with your toys, have fun, you know, find some projects. I completed a G.I. Joe General, which is something I had as a kid and really liked that. It was missing a few things. I actually had to get one of the front sort of canopy doors from Greece because I couldn't find, and it was broken. I just couldn't find one. Ended up selling it to a friend who really enjoyed that. Completed a mobile command center. So it's fun to, you know, take your time and complete it, upgrade it, you know, buy part lots, things like that. And then I kind of sell them because I don't have a lot of room for vehicles. My kids will break them, and I would just rather give them to somebody who would enjoy those. So so hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I don't break anything. And if I did, it would be nice to get on the camera at least so you guys can make fun of me. But I'll post in the comments to let you know if anything has happened, and let me know if you ever you know, completed, or what some of the projects that you've completed for G.I. Joe or other lines. I've also completed an Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Well, I bought it complete. A Fortress of Fangs. You know, so just let me know what you've done, if you've broken things, any kind of funny experiences you've had, because you know, I think we can at least maybe share, you know, commiserate together. So thanks for watching.